This is the Google autocomplete questions on why do cats. What? Was there something behind me? What? Here we go. Why do cats purr? That's a great question because many times people think that cats purr only if they're happy, but it's not necessarily true. Cats will purr when they're sick and even when they're afraid. There is a belief, which I'm not completely sure if it's 100% accurate, but the belief is that the specific frequency, the specific vibration of the purring actually has some healing properties. Hence, why sometimes people think that when their cat is climbing on top of them and purring when they're sick, it might help them heal. Interesting. Why do cats knead? And why do cats make biscuits? Well, of course, it's not because cats decided to be bakers or anything like that. So first, let me explain what kneading means. Kneading or making biscuits is that motion that cats do with their front paws when you're petting them, and sometimes they might actually do it while they're also suckling from your shirt. This behavior is basically a normal behavior because when they're still kittens, they do it in order to encourage the memory tissue to produce more milk. In some situations, that behavior doesn't ever go away completely. It might be because they were separated at a very young age from their mom and didn't actually fulfill all of their oral fixation or needs. But this behavior is done when they're happy and when they're feeling good. Why do cats lick you? So first, I need to apologize in advance because I know that when I say lick, you don't know if I mean leak, like there's a leak in my faucet, or if I mean leaking. I can't even hear the difference between the two words. Leak, 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 lick, lick. I don't know. So I mean the one that they do with their tongue. I'm also not very good at saying tongue. And why do they do that? Because you probably taste very good. Actually, it's only half of a joke because they might actually lick you because of your taste. But licking is also an affiliative behavior. They also do it to each other in order to show that they are comfortable, in order to show the other cat that they're enjoying their presence and that they want to be friends. And just so that you know, there is such a thing as excessive licking. Me personally, I don't really enjoy when they lick me with that really rough tongue of them. And why do they have a rough tongue is a question for a whole different video. And if you want to know something about it, then leave a message in the comments. But, some people like it. I'm not against it. Just don't let them overdo it. Why do cats sleep so much? One, because they can. If someone would have given me the option to sleep so much, I would probably take it. Two, because it's in their genes. Not genes. Well, maybe that's another word that I can say. Genes. Genes. Help me out here. Even lions and other great cats will sleep a very, very large portion of the day. And cats do too. They can sleep over 50% of their day, and that's completely normal. As for the why, hard to say. In the end, it's evolution that made them that way. I guess the time that they spend awake is enough for them to get everything that they need. Why do cats meow? Cats actually have different types of vocalizations. The ones that they use to communicate with people are not always exactly the same as the ones they use to communicate with each other. So the question is, what type of meowing do they mean here about why do cats meow? But let's say they are asking about why do cats meow towards people. So it can be attention-seeking behavior. It can actually be some kind of a learned behavior because they learn that when they meow, you're gonna play with them or gonna give them food. It can actually be a way to communicate that they're in stress. or that maybe they're in pain. Specifically, why they meow and don't bark, that's kind of a stupid question. I'm not gonna answer that. Why do cats like catnip? I think I actually did a full video about it with much more information. But in a nutshell, catnip actually produces an effect in their brain which is kind of like drugs. The good thing is that they can't get hooked on this. They can't get dependent, meaning they're not gonna have to go to AAs or something like that in order for them to get rid of their dependency on catnip. Their body will have reactions to the catnip for a few minutes and then it will stop, and for a few hours they're not going to be able to react to catnip again. Why do cats have whiskers? Well, cats have whiskers like many other mammals. They all probably have about the same function, but not all animals will have the ability to use them or will have the brain parts to use them and to be able to respond to the sensory input that they get from the whiskers the same. So for example, in mice and other rodents, whiskers are very important in order to know where they're located around the environment. Are they touching a wall? They live a lot in dark areas. Each hair on their whiskers is connected to a specific brain part. And when they mapped those brain parts, they actually looked exactly the same as the parts on their face on the whiskers themselves, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool. But in cats, kind of like in dogs, they probably don't play a very big role. We can actually use the position of the whiskers in order to tell if the cat is in pain or stress. But cats probably don't use those whiskers too much to sense their environment. Why do cats like boxes? Isn't that a quantum physics question? Like Schrödinger's cat? There's a box, and there's a cat in the box, and the cat is both alive and dead until the moment you open the box? I digress. Cats really do like boxes. Many times, the smaller the box, the more they like it. And even weirder than that, sometimes if you just mark a rectangle on the floor, the cat will even go and sit there. Cats really like that kind of confinement. It might give them some sense of security. But the thing is that they also do it in a playful way. They just jump into the box and out of the box. So the why is not completely clear. But you can definitely use that fact. You can use the fact that cats like boxes in order to train them to get into their own carrier when you need to go to the vet. Well, you actually need to start ahead of time training them. And I made a video about that as well. You can check it out here. Last one. Why do cats bite you? Well, I don't know who you is, but usually when cats bite me or scratch me, it's because I was trying to help them. That's the sad part of being a veterinarian. You only want to help them and they still want to kill you. But it's legitimate. They are afraid and you are trying to poke them with needles usually. But if we're talking about cats in the household, they can bite because of fear and anxiety and stress. They can bite when they're in pain, which will actually also cause fear, anxiety, and stress. They can bite because of redirected aggression. They actually want to reach some cat outside the house, but they can, so they will attack whoever is close to them. And there are many other reasons for cat to bite. So it all depends on the situation and the history. Many times we can find out, according to when the behavior started, we can find out what actually caused it to begin with, and then we can treat it. And these are all the questions for today. But please let me know if there are more questions that interest you about cats. Write them down in the comments below. And in the meanwhile, you can like and subscribe because it does help the channel a lot, and whatever helps the channel helps me. And check out this video.